Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to be looking at two more Puffin Forest videos, specifically Detective Clancy and How My Campaign Ended, which, if the opening screenshot has anything to go by, this is part of that overarching campaign that's technically the videos of ended first with the first half, and then they went to a flashback of something to do with a whale and how they got their name, the Turtle Friends. Except we never actually get to see how they got the name Turtle Friends. But it's definitely a very interesting story that Puffin has basically said he will never let us see why they are named the Turtle Fuckers. Also, yes, I need to swear now because YouTube actually recommends that. I'm okay with this. So, yeah, also I put them in reverse order. The Turtle Fuckers will be first because I just enjoy that entire storyline. Also, the guy who was playing Gundam Wing and now playing Saw the Snake, just sure, why not? You guys know the deal. Link below, original videos. You've already hit them up? Great! Let's get started.
In my Dungeons & Dragons campaign, the players were trying to find out who stole a sacred artifact known as the Covenant and return it to the plane of law. The Covenant was a binding contract that created a magical barrier protecting the material plane from the incursion of angels and devils. Since it had been stolen,
Isn't that where the villain
was
from the
raging
first
across
guy
the material
was?
plane
Or
between
the
the two
first campaign?
factions.
Yeah,
Up in Mount
it was.
Celestia, the
It
villain
is!
of our last campaign, Malachar,
Called
was
it!
stuck in a prison that was guarded by
Oh,
a
is he gonna get
fearsome
out?
group of the most incorruptible soldiers that were completely immune to evil. Baby harp seals.
What?
Of course. Baby harp seals
Seriously?
are the ultimate force for good and resistant against the effects of evil.
They're
As
so
you climb up the slopes
cute!
of Mount Celestia, you get more innocent and pure creatures until you get up to a certain point on the mountain, and it's just nothing but baby harp seals resting on rocks.
Oh my god, that's
And above that,
adorable.
at the top is the great seal in the sky.
There's actually a
protector of
seal.
all,
I
whose
guess it has
flabby
the
belly is
seal
filled
of
with goodness
approval.
and repels all evil that comes near. Malachar was miserable in Mount Celestia prison
Oh, the
until
cute little...
one fateful
What?
day. Hey, can I use the bathroom?
Seriously?
Sure, yeah, it's on the left.
Okay, the left is where I'm going. To the bathroom. But instead of going to the
Really?
left, he instead went to the right and escaped out through the exit.
Oh my god,
Who else but a cunning mastermind, a nefarious villain whose brilliant brilliance could have come up with such an ingenious deception? Their goodness
I'm not even
was
touching
no
this
match
one.
for him. We just weren't prepared for that kind of evil. And
That actually is a
Malachar
good excuse, considering
escaped
they're so perfectly
for all
pure.
of 20 seconds before they found out he had sprained his ankle just outside the door and was
Seriously?
crying in a little ball.
Wow.
In the plot line
That's,
with the main heroes, the players need to steal something from the military. But that sounded like
I love how he
a
got
lot
out
of
only to
work
fail
and,
because he's lame.
Really, really dangerous. So they decided, we'd like to hire out another adventuring party. Great. I think there'd be a lot of people interested.
But we also don't want to spend a lot of money.
Well, that's a
And
problem.
so, they turned to the Dream Team, a group of young, brave adventurers with hearts of gold, out to prove themselves in the big, dangerous world.
We need you guys
I'm
to
not
go
touching
in
this
and
one.
steal a stamp we can use to forge documents.
Oh, gee, that sounds really exciting. I don't
God's
know.
little
Is it going
kid
to be
voice.
very dangerous?
Yes.
I think our baby hippo familiar Arnold, he gets scared easily.
It's a hippo!
I'm an NPC. I'm giving you a mission. I know you're new to this.
Oh, so
but
they're
I'm
playing as
very
new characters
obviously
and they're
a
just letting the
plot
other
hook.
ones
You-
be the NPCs
You're
for it.
adventurers. You
Oh.
can't say no to a plot hook.
Sure they can.
Okay, all right. Oh, boy, this sounds really exciting. I got my new weapons and gear, and I'm going to be going on an adventure. That sounds like it's going to be
my
a lot
God.
of fun.
One adventure later, the young heroes returned back, beat up.
Yep,
and
that looks about
wounded.
right. Beat up
That
and angry.
mission was not balanced for us.
I
Nope.
had the utmost confidence in your capabilities.
We're zero-level adventurers. You wouldn't
There's a
believe
zero
what we
level?
encountered. There was like a
Damn.
gold dragon, there were 3 beholders, a lich, all guarding it. Arnold injured his paw. He was really
Not
frightened
Arnold.
and scared and upset about it.
I don't even want to think about what an upset hippo would actually look like.
What do you think this is? A game?
Yes.
You think life is a series of balanced encounters, slowly giving you level-appropriate fights as you go along? No,
If you're
no,
a
this is
good
life,
GM.
okay? Life doesn't care about your level or your balanced encounters.
There are charts for this kind of thing. Haven't you heard about challenge rating?
Challenge rating. You're an NPC. You don't know what those are. No, sometimes you get thrown a tough challenge, and sometimes you just gotta rise to the occasion. Okay, just.
Technically, they came back, so yeah, they
balance,
actually did, but...
fairness. Those metagame concepts. You guys,
I like how they just pause for a second to just get it through.
Oh, one more thing.
We're not paying you?
I forgot to say this earlier, but we're also going to need uniforms from the same place.
Seriously?
You want us to go back?
Yeah. I probably should have brought it up earlier.
Oh my
I
god.
need another thing.
This is so many levels
you're
of
gonna have to make
dickery.
2 trips. I know it's
Dickery
annoying,
to an NPC,
but yeah,
even.
I forgot. Whoops. Yeah, it happens.
So, the Dream Team went out.
Oh god, how are they going to come back?
And they got past the guards again
The black
to recover the
eye.
new items.
It was worse. You wouldn't believe it.
They were expecting it this
They
time.
increased the guards since last time.
But you got the stuff?
And?
Now, here is your reward. 1 silver piece for the group, not each. Now, don't go spending it all in one place.
But the level appropriate reward chart says we're supposed to get...
Hey, stop. You're an NPC. You don't know what those are.
Later on in the story, the
That
Turtle
is
friends were going
so
to climb the Needles of Limb to
dickish.
get to the plane of law.
Oh,
The
man.
Needles were a series of bridges that connected different dimensions, and this location was a crossroads used to get to other planes of existence. Within, they found a spirit who had discovered dark secrets and been cursed by them.
You must be cautious when you travel. I myself followed the bridges, and it took me to many fantastical places, but others dark and dangerous.
Detroit?
Even so, there was one, a hideous place that even the devils dare not tread.
Oh god, New Jersey.
It is a land perpetually on fire, where the very air could kill you.
No, you're scaring the little baby harp seal.
Yes, and they call this dark plane of evil California.
No! Not California!
Really?
Yes,
baby
this is a
harp
place
seals are
on the
from
evil
California.
plane of law, where magic doesn't work, with a city shrouded in mist and mire, where people are perpetually in agony, and the beach is like really cold, and there's this short prickly grass that's like really irritating.
Yeah, that actually sounds
The
about
dark
accurate.
citadel they call L.A. Once you enter,
You
you'll
can
become
never
trapped there,
move.
unable to
Because traffic
leave.
is terrible.
They force you to stay.
No, it's just because of the traffic.
Called it.
It's like it's
Been there,
really
yes.
bad. Like I haven't seen it that bad anywhere else in the multiverse.
He's right.
Told
It's pretty
you
bad.
Not to talk about California. Not in front of the children.
They need to know, damn it. They need to know.
I
that
love
there
how
are
they
some
got the little
places that
teary
if they
eyes.
were to travel to would turn them into degenerate, deranged, mutated monsters.
And
Kind of
hipsters.
sadistic creatures could live there.
God help us if we ever find out. God.
Just
Help
Ben in
us.
the corner.
Eventually,
Yes,
after a
I think he's
lengthy
actually
mission,
from LA.
the players recovered the Covenant and went to return it to
Oh
the
my
plane of law,
God.
speaking with an angel.
Thank you for recovering the Covenant, brave heroes. Because of you, order will be restored.
Oh, you want this? Well, we're not giving it
Are
to
you
What?
are you
Why?
really trying to extort?
We need it to restore order and balance to the universe.
because you're the bad guy, the primary villain of this campaign.
What?
You can't be serious.
Wow, that's
You're
even.
trying to destroy the Covenant, aren't you? We got it figured out. You're an angel. You want the war between heaven and hell because you want to defeat hell. So you need the Covenant to be out of the picture because if the Covenant is around,
I mean,
you can't
it's an
wage a
interesting
war.
plot twist, but I think they're wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. How'd you figure it out?
And this is the point where Ben
Yeah.
is like, "Yes, that's
You
what
know,
I planned."
It seemed reasonable. We figured it out like the first 15 seconds when we spoke to you.
You may know that, but what you don't know was that I was the captain of the army of heaven on the front lines, fighting it out against the denizens of hell.
Well, you obviously didn't
20,000
win, so what
years
good are you?
ago.
We got it.
I was there when the dreaded peace was declared. We were so close to winning and wiping out hell for good.
I'm calling it
When the
now.
Covenant
Ben's
was
just pulling this out of his
forged.
ass right now.
We figured that out too.
And at the last moment, my victory was snatched out from my hands.
Stop. You just stop with the monologuing. We figured it out already like 8 sessions ago. Okay, now you're just embarrassing yourself now.
A fight ensued as the angel Gabrielle tried to steal the Covenant away and destroy it.
Huh.
After a
Usually when
long
they say
battle,
Gabrielle, they
a
portray it as
magic
a female.
artifact, the Chaos Orb,
It's a thing that
malfunctioned,
canonically
transforming
was
our
a girl.
Warforged into a human and turning Gabrielle into a potted plant. Since the players had won, the fight was over, and
A
they were
plant.
at the Needles of
Oh,
Limb.
God, it's
between
Undertale.
worlds. They took a moment to decide what to do.
They
now.
really just went Undertale
We're
on
not
this.
going to kill you, but what we're going to do is
Put 'em
send you to
underground?
another plane of existence. Where's like the worst plane we could send you to?
Really?
Wait, I know
Really?
exactly where to send him.
California?
No, you wouldn't.
They would.
Yes, I banish you to California. No.
Not California. However would they survive?
Once Gabrielle was banished,
badly.
they returned the Covenant, ended the war, and restored peace back to the land. After that was resolved, it was the end of the campaign.
So far.
Players became blessed by the god of law and order, becoming demigods and got
And now he
epic
can't
boon.
become some random
Together,
character again.
They decided
He's
to
stuck
become
as a
immortal
human.
and stop aging. The group split up, going after their own ways. Our fighter returned back to the Beastlands to spend the rest of his days with his drow wife, living in solitude. Azrael was worried about the Needles of Lim, fearing that if the bridge between worlds fell into the wrong hands, it could be used for nefarious ends. In order to make sure that that never happened again, he took it upon himself to become the steward of the towers, made it his home, adding a library and furnishings.
Ooh.
At first,
I'm not
Shiro
saying
and
I'm jealous,
Azrael
but
ran a guild together, but over time, the two began to drift apart until they had a falling out. Shiro argued that they needed to rise up as leaders and rule. Otherwise, if it wasn't in their hands, the world would fall into conflict.
Ooh, and we see the plot hook
war
for the next
and
one.
Calamity would strike again. But Azrael could see that he was becoming power-hungry, and his friend was starting to travel down a dark road. After Shiro and Azrael had a massive argument about what to do with the tower, Azrael used the tower's magic to teleport the entire structure out of the material plane.
Ooh.
And as the tower warped and flitted out of existence like the blink of an eye, that was the last that Shiro ever saw of his old friend.
For now.
Sometimes later, stories started cropping up from people who would say that they would see a tower rise in the distance out of nowhere, but it would be gone just as quick as it came. Supposedly, the Needles of Lim were teleporting to different places and planes, seemingly at random, which the name people forgot over time, and the only name they knew were the Azrael Towers. Whenever there was a problem or adventurers needed an old, wise mentor, sometimes they would find their way to the tower, or other times, the tower would find its way to them. And for Michel, well, he didn't talk much to the others. So, he left down the same road he came before, and they never met him again.
For now.
Where was he going? What did he want to do?
I'm going to just keep saying for now,
No one could
because
say for
you know
sure.
they're going to have a third
Those
section.
stories are ones no one has ever told, and were lost to time.
For now.
After the Covenant Wars, the world quieted down. The gods drifted away and stopped interfering in the material plane, causing the rise of a new industrial era for the world of science and reason. Many countries rose and many fell. Some small wars and conflicts happened, but nothing like the Covenant Wars. New technology was made, like flintlock pistols,
does this mean they're going to be
trains,
playing a
airships,
different-
and other magical devices.
I wonder what...
500
Because it does seem like they're setting up a new
years
start with a new
quietly
system with
pass.
really old heroes.
And where one story came to
Either-
an end,
oh,
our
called
next
it.
story begins.
Called it! There's another part! I just need to say, right off the bat, I called it. Every second's like, oh, by the way, you will never age. So obviously what's going to happen is they're setting up for another story where they're going to have the guys come back in and like they never see each other. And either there'll be NPCs to the next band of heroes when they start new characters, or they'll just say, oh, you've been depowered and now you can have your same characters again, but you'll age now, but you're not. And yeah. More likely, I'm guessing, like the next storyline will just be, we now have all these really important NPCs that we previously were characters for. But now they're giving you new adventurers who are not the dream team because they would never work for us again out of just self-preservation and probably dying of old age. Also, just the dream team. I know NPCs have to do what you say because they're not a thing, but I fully expected Ben to say, by the way, I'm going to do a GM move here and have it say no and try and shank you because you deserve it. And they did. 1 silver coin piece. Oh my god. That's just that's a level of dickery that I actually appreciate to other people. Specifically, that last part is very important, not the me part, the other people. I do want to see what happens next, though, because if they're moving into like a steampunk variant, or maybe even going all the way to, we now have technology, I really want to see what kind of system they're playing, because it doesn't seem like they'd be playing a D&D style system, because I don't really see it used much with like a steampunk variant. So maybe they'd be doing like Dresden Files, or maybe some kind of more steampunk or cyberpunk variant. Probably not cyberpunk, because that seems like it wouldn't be there yet, but definitely more of a steampunk gameplay style. I want to see where they go next, because I enjoy seeing the dickishness there. Also, Solid Snake became human! There's a joke in there somewhere about the last game. I'm not going to touch that one. I have standards. Very, very bad standards, but they count. Next up is Detective Clancy, and if it's anything like the last time I saw a D&D story with a detective in it, it'll be a cute little puppers who's a ghost. And also kind of evil. But gonna eat you. But cutely. Yeah, the pet story. I still feel cheated he didn't go into the rest of them. I wanted to know where they got the butler. Who's a pet. Actually, that sounds really disturbing and kind of fetishistic when I say it that way. Yeah, I'm just going to drop that line of thought. Moving on.
I think that most Dungeons & Dragons players as they play start to develop a love for some classes and an aversion to others. For me, I wasn't a huge fan of the rogue class.
Really?
Usually, in most games, we already have someone who wants to play as a rogue, so I kind of don't have the need to
I feel like that's a
space.
Blatant shout out to someone.
I'd only played it one time before, like the second or third session that I'd started playing D&D. The story goes, I was exploring a room with the group at first level, when suddenly, a white dragon just shows up. He just, boom.
Well,
there he is.
You're dead.
The rest of the group was outside the room, and the paladin was like, oh no, not a dragon. Quick. Boom. They slammed the door shut behind me. You guys, I need a little help back up here.
Yeah, no, you dead.
We could get hurt. So now it's just me and the dragon.
Yep.
In the locked room.
You dead.
Just to kind of fade to black, let's just say my character didn't last very long in that fight.
Not surprising.
Okay, now actually it's coming back to me. I think I'm starting to remember exactly why I don't play as many rogues.
I wouldn't say so much rogue,
I was
but
requiring myself to play through all the classes that I didn't play as much, so that put the rogue on top of the barrel. So fine.
Oh no,
fine,
he went back.
I'll make a rogue.
I'd be more worried about your friends,
favorite,
though.
But then again, actually look him over. He does only roll one attack on his turn. That sounds like my kind of guy.
Huh?
Also, I do really like all the skills and expertise they get. It had been several years and I knew I had to play the rogue again, but I didn't want to play as a traditional rogue with a high dex. After all, if I have a high dex, then I'll hit with an attack. And if I hit, then I have to do sneak attack and roll damage and add up the sneak attack dice. That doesn't sound like fun. Does that sound like fun to you?
Oh god, not
like
math.
The math.
Why? Why would you
I decided to
do
make
that?
a character who was a mastermind. So we started our game, and my character gets introduced. Excuse me.
So he has high
18 intelligence coming
charisma.
through. Excuse me, 18 intelligence coming through. Excuse me. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Detective Clancy, world's greatest detective.
A detective rogue.
Is your first
Oh
name
god, he's a rogue
Tom,
detective.
by any chance?
I think you're thinking of a different detective. So I'm
Tom
looking over the
Clancy,
crime
I get it,
scene,
yeah.
go,
Just
Detective
never thought of that.
Clancy's on the case. I rolled a 3, and with my mods, that adds up to a whopping 2.
What?
You have a negative number in your investigation? I thought you were supposed to be the world's greatest detective.
Nope.
He certainly thinks he is.
Oh my god.
I think I've just decided that I'm going to be a troll player at this point, and dumb characters are just my thing now. I maxed out his
thinks he's the
deception and
world's
performance so
greatest
that I could
detective.
pretend to be the world's greatest detective. He had voice mimicry, which let him disguise his voice and impersonate others. It came in pretty handy quite often.
Oh my
There was
god.
one time we had a gang selling illegal contraband, and I pretended to be
He's
a guard
literally
and
just
confiscated
a
their wares,
troll.
stealing them for the group. Or we were dealing with a group of tabaxi, and I slipped in among them like a shadow.
What?
That sounds really suspicious, Meow. I wonder who could have possibly done that, Meow.
Clancy also didn't remember details that well, drawing funny pictures whenever he got information.
Oh my
We got a
god.
massive info dump, and at the end of it, I was like, I took some notes, but all I got from that were the
Cat
important
pictures?
details, and I just drew a lady with a pair of swans where her boobs should be. There was actually a
What's
part
that
later
amusing?
on in the storyline where we got to drink these potions that caused us to have a sudden surge of intelligence. I'm not actually as smart as I think I am, which only lasted for 1 minute. Wait a second. Forget that. I'm the world's greatest detective.
Oh
Of
my
course
god,
I
that's just like
am. In the
I need to
storyline,
play
we
a
went
dumb
to
character.
party, but this
For
was
anyone
a
who says,
fancy
"I do it
place, and
already."
One of the guys
No.
needed a date, or he wouldn't be let in. So I put
Oh,
on
no.
a disguise.
Oh no.
Trixie Starbright, ready to go. Ding!
We went through.
Really?
the party.
Trixie
We
returns?
were supposed to be finding a gnome who ran the establishment. So I found
Evil
a
Trixie.
gnome, which I thought was the guy. Went up to him and said, "Hey, do you want to go somewhere private?" and led him into the bathroom, where I conked him out, tied up his body, and hid him in the closet.
Probably par for course at this point.
I picked a guy on random, so it happened to be the wrong guy. So I went back out to the party and found another gnome at random and did the same thing. Okay, I think we're on a bit of a time crunch now. I've led a new guy away from the party for some private time, one after the other, and I've been through about 8 guys already, and the servers are starting to get suspicious because I keep leading a new guy away from the party every 15 minutes. Also, I've captured all of the gnomes, and now I'm just going after anyone who's short. Eventually, we did find the correct guy. They did, not me. He was not one of the ones I captured. He had been in the upper floors at the VIP section. After we got our prisoner, we had to interrogate him, but he wasn't giving us any answers.
Trixie
not easy,
is evil.
Least. He was blindfolded, so I decided to do a bit with my voice mimicry. Are you gonna answer our questions, or are we gonna have to start breaking
This is Detective Rage, Savage
Don't
Rage.
ever break me.
Oh no, let him go!
Quiet, girl.
No, don't hurt the poor girl.
That's what you get for talking out of line.
Let her go, you monster!
You're gonna start giving us answers.
Oh my god, this is actually adorably awesome.
Okay, I'll talk. Just leave the girl alone.
My hero. I'm honestly really surprised this came into play twice in 2 different games. When it came to combat,
what?
I would wear a basket around at all times as my disguise.
It worked twice?
In the Dwarven Citadel, there was a mushroom on the ceiling which glowed. We asked if we could take a sample of the massive mushroom, and the GM was like,
no.
It's on the ceiling. You have to climb up there first, and it's really high. Later on, people saw a suspicious-looking basket just on the ceiling, slowly working its way up over the city to get to the mushroom. So, if you ever have a need for an investigator, you can always call Detective Clancy, world's greatest detective.
Okay, I think this settles it. I need to play a low-intelligence adventurer who's got tons of great skills to make it possible, but just dumb enough that you can play all the kind of dickery imaginable. And it's like in character at that point. Because like if you play someone really smart, you have to make the smart move because you can't intentionally be stupid unless it's part of a master plan. But then you have to play roleplay limitations if you want to be honest about it. I'm an asshole, so that would always be a thing. But if I have a really low intelligence person, like, I can Leroy Jenkins this. Everyone was like, no, you can't. Leroy! I don't see anything wrong with this plan. I mean, yeah, sure. I might get shanked in real life by my teammates and deserve it. But there's small sacrifices for my own enjoyment I'm willing to make. That shouldn't be as easy for me to say as it is. But I'm okay with this. Honestly, though, I love seeing the different variations of characters Puffin pulls out because they're always so imaginative and just, mostly trollish, almost exclusively trollish, but they're usually fun despite that and actually able to contribute to any plotline he's thrown into. God, I actually have been starting to look into playing this, and I even played a small, quick starting warm-up game with Pretty Guardian already, just to see if we like the system, and so far it worked fine. I was trying to be a GM, and that went about as well as everyone out there is thinking. Less said about that, the better. So yeah, if you're ever down in the Pittsburgh area, let me know, because I'm trying to start up a league. And by league, I mean 3 people who will actually be able to meet up once a year. You know, more often than usual. I've already found that part out. Yeah. It's all the same, everyone. Thanks for watching. You guys know the drill. Link below, original video. Hit it up. Well, videos. So hit them both up. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.
Thank you.